WWE's reaction to the Netflix live streaming issues during the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight has been revealed. Speaking of being revealed, the brand new logo for Monday Night Raw premiering on Netflix next year in January of 2025 has also been revealed. Logan Paul, was he disrespectful to Mike Tyson after his brother defeated the legendary boxer? We'll let you know the details on that one. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were present at the UFC event last night under the TKO Group Holdings umbrella. Jack Perry is strapped to his own vehicle and kidnapped by Daniel Garcia and Daddy Magic. Mariah May retains the AEW Women's World Championship. The Acclaimed to qualify for the Full Gear AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Rob Van Dam reveals that his plans kind of changed when it came to the recent ECW show at the former ECW arena for NXT. An update on the brackets for the Women's United States Championship. We now have the date and location for the AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming special, and more details on Shinsuke Nakamura's return to WWE television. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with the streaming issues that many people are talking about coming out of the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight over the weekend. And could that be problematic for WWE when a lot of their content, live content, moves to the streaming service next year? Now, Netflix, of course, had an enormous event on November 15th and disappointed some viewers. Netflix's Jake Paul versus Iron Mike Tyson fight was riddled with buffering and connectivity issues and became one of the most globally watched events of the year. The issues caused natural concerns among wrestling fans about what is in store for January. When Fightful Select immediately inquired with those in WWE, they said they'd been assured that these issues would be kept to a minimum. One higher-up said that if they were ever doing the type of traffic Mike Tyson and Jake Paul were doing, then that would be a good problem to have. Now, as I mentioned, Netflix's live Love is Blind finale also had significant issues. Fightful have been told at one point when the OVW Wrestler show was being released and marketed, there were live shows discussed. This would have also helped them test live streaming for wrestling on the platform. But as of right now, there doesn't appear to be any concerns. Now, Monday Night Raw is headed to Netflix next year, and possibly we've got to look at what this new logo for the show is going to be. Netflix attracted sports fans from all over the world to visit their service as they aired the boxing fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul live. Throughout the evening, a number of advertisements for WWE aired as the company's longest-running weekly show, Monday Night Raw, will air live every week on Netflix beginning on January 6, 2025. During these ads, the brand new Raw logo was revealed for the very first time. Now, assuming the design goes through, it will be the first time since 2019 that the Raw logo has seen drastic changes. The new logo incorporates elements of the most recent design, as well as the R and W letters harkening back to the Raw logo that was used between 2006 and 2012. All three of WWE's televised shows, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, have now received a rebrand to go with their new homes that they've moved to and their new networks. SmackDown, of course, returning to the USA Network in September, NXT debuting on the CW in October. Now, fans in Inglewood, California will get to witness Raw's debut on Netflix in person as the January 6th episode is reportedly set to take place at the brand new Intuit Dome, making Raw the first wrestling event in history to take place in the arena, and are likely to see some of the biggest names in the company be a part of the festivities. A recent report claims that Netflix wants stars like Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, both SmackDown superstars currently, to feature alongside Raw's top stars like CM Punk and Gunther as a way to draw more eyeballs to the show in the first few weeks of the service. Now, in this fight, of course, between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, that led some people to question if Jake's brother, former United States champion Logan Paul, was disrespectful to the boxing great. And one of the biggest boxing events in recent memory is in the books, as Jake Paul defeated Iron Mike Tyson by unanimous decision. But just because one of the Paul brothers got the better of him doesn't mean that the other one would. Tyson suggested the idea of facing Logan Paul in a boxing match during his post-fight interview. However, the current WWE superstar was very upfront about how he feels a fight between himself and Tyson would go. Quote, "Motherfucker, I'd kill you, Mike," Paul said. The former United States champion is no stranger to getting in the ring with some of the biggest names in boxing. In June of 2021, Paul had an exhibition fight with Floyd Money Mayweather, in which the two men fought for 8 rounds, with Mayweather even admitting that after the fight that Paul was a lot better than he had originally anticipated. Now, do you think that Paul was disrespectful to his comments toward Mike Tyson, or could they be building towards something in the future? Let me know your thoughts about that one as well. And we saw some cross-promotion under the TKO Group Holdings umbrella last night. There was a heavy WWE presence at the UFC event. And we also saw Triple H shaking hands with the newly elected president of the United States. The newly elected president of the US, Donald Trump, was one of many notable names who appeared at UFC 309 event last night. And his visit brought about several surreal moments that certainly many people are talking about. For instance, Trump made his arrival at the event flanked by a posse of Elon Musk, Dana White, Robert Kennedy Jr., and others to The Undertaker's iconic American Badass WWE entrance theme song, which of course is sung by Kid Rock, who's also in attendance. The Undertaker, of course, has previously shown support for Trump, having him appear on his podcast in the build-up to the election. Two other guests at the UFC's event were Paul Triple H Levesque and Stephanie McMahon, representing WWE as the other half of TKO Group Holdings. Several cameras caught Triple H and Donald Trump coming across one another, sharing a quick embrace. Of course, Trump is no stranger to WWE, having been a part of the main event of WrestleMania 23, or one of the featured events of WrestleMania 23, that being the Battle of the Billionaires, hair versus hair. Now, going over to AEW, and we saw Jack Perry get kidnapped and go on a ride last night. Jack Perry thought he was going to get the jump on Daddy Magic on the November 16 AEW Collision, assaulting him while he was on color commentary and attempting to hog-tie him to his signature black school bus. However, Daniel Garcia was able to stop Perry, and the numbers advantage of Garcia and Magic allowed them to tie Perry to the hood of his bus and drive off. Now, no details as to where they went, but what we do know is that Garcia and Perry are scheduled to clash for the AEW TNT Championship at AEW Full Gear. Now, speaking of Collision last night, we also saw Mariah May retain the AEW Women's World Championship. She outlasted Anna Jay in a violent no disqualification bout to retain her Women's World Championship in the main event of Collision. The rubber match was set after May's initial defense over Jay at the beginning of this month, itself brought upon by the Challenger surprise win at AEW Battle of the Belts 12 in October, saw the champion put through a guardrail and knocked into a barbed wire assisted Queen Slayer chokehold. Both competitors came prepared for the stipulation, Jay with her own duffel bag revealed to contain a crowbar, a chain and a leather strap, May with a baseball bat and a trash can in hand. The bell rung before May could even get into the ring. As she launched the trash can into the ring, Jay avoided it and landed a drop kick to send her flying from the apron to open proceedings. Jay would introduce a table into the bout, placing it in the ring with just one of the side's legs up with the idea of superplexing the champion through it from the top rope. However, May reversed the attempt with a sunset flip, landing a powerbomb to the challenger through the table, but only for a count of two. She would bring the guardrail into the bout, looking to set it up on the steel chairs that had been introduced earlier. Jay hit a backstabber to May as she was setting the contraption up, allowing her to finish setting it up and delivering a superplex through it from the top rope. Rather than making a pin attempt, she went underneath the ring one last time to grab the barbed wire and lock in the Queen Slayer. May then reached into her pocket, grabbing an aerosol can and spraying it in Jay's face, providing the opening for Storm Zero onto a chair for the pinfall and to win the match and retain her title. Now, there are plans for a celebration, and the celebration is finally going to happen. AEW Women's Champion Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa will have a Champagne Championship celebration at AEW Full Gear. Mina celebrated with Mariah on AEW Collision after Mariah successfully defended her title against Anna Jay. Now, Mariah has postponed her celebration multiple times since winning the AEW Women's title, saying Mina needed to be present. Now she will be, and it'll be happening at Full Gear. Speaking of Full Gear, the AEW World Tag Team Championships will be on the line at the pay-per-view. The Acclaimed walked into their AEW World Tag Team title qualifying match on Saturday's episode of Collision, sitting at 61 wins, the most ever earned by a tag team in AEW history, while Rush and the Beast Mortos sought to stake their claim onto the Full Gear card. Anthony Bowens and Max Caster overcame them to not only become number one contenders for the tag titles, but also turn 61 wins into 62. Current AEW World Tag Team Champions Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn watched on from their VIP lounge as Bowens and Rush started the match for both teams. Bowens held his own against the formidable Rush for a solid opening sequence, but trouble in paradise brewed when Caster tagged himself in prematurely, much to Bowens' chagrin. The bold move for Caster hardly paid off as Rush quickly retrieved a rope from underneath the ring and attempted to choke Caster away from the referee's gaze. The tides became much more even as the match progressed, with both units relying on their teammates to break near falls. Things finally unraveled for Rush and the Beast Mortos, while Caster dodged a corner cannonball attempt by the masked luchador. Caster barely made it to Bowens for a hot tag, and despite earlier tensions, the Acclaim masterfully performed a mic drop onto the Beast Mortos for the victory. With Bowens and Caster's victory, fans can now expect to see Private Party defend their AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Acclaim, the Outrunners, and the Kings of the Black Throne, representing the House of Black, in a week's time at Full Gear. Now, Rob Van Dam, if you were thinking I thought he was going to get physical at the recent show at the former ECW arena for NXT, you would be right. RVD was a special guest for NXT's recent visit to the 2300 arena, hosting an ECW-themed show at the former home of Extreme Championship Wrestling. The WWE Hall of Famer didn't get physical, though, instead remaining simply as a presence at ringside during a match between Javon Evans and Wes Lee. Given RVD's recent matches in the likes of AEW, some expected the former ECW and WWE champion to mix up with some of NXT's current day talents, but that wasn't the case. Speaking on his One of a Kind with RVD podcast, he revealed that there was some change in plans regarding him getting physically involved, hinting that it came down to his own well-being and health. However, he stated he'll be back in the mix at some point. He said, quote, "More time is needed to get more information, but basically, I think that you would not be wrong if you thought that maybe there was plans that got changed, and if so, that was done for the betterment of me and my well-being. Let me just leave it there for you now. I will definitely talk about this more when I have more to talk about. A little early right now, though. I wanted to wrestle too. I was really bummed. I'll be back too. I will be back. So there's that." Now, more details on the Women's United States Championship here and the bracket that aired on SmackDown. The Women's Division in WWE is getting another title in the form of the Women's United States Championship. The inaugural champion will be determined by a 12-woman tournament that will conclude at WWE's Saturday night's main event on December 14th. On the November 15th episode of SmackDown, Bayley took her first step in becoming the champion after she defeated Candice LeRae and B-Fab in her first round match. Fightful Select has gathered more information on the tournament itself, claiming that WWE was originally hesitant to air the graphic mapping out all of the first round matches. The company reportedly felt as if it would make the Women's Championship match between Nia Jax and Naomi, that main event of the show, seem like a foregone conclusion due to Naomi being entered into the tournament, as she's scheduled to face Tiffany Stratton and Elektra Lopez in the near future. The other first two-round three-ways will see Women's Tag Team Champion Bianca Belair face Chelsea Green and Blair Davenport, with the other half of the Women's Tag Team Champions Jade Cargill rounding off the final first-round clash against Michin and Piper Niven. No members of the Raw Women's Division were included in the competition, and while the new title will be exclusive to SmackDown for the immediate future, the Raw Women were reportedly not told why they hadn't been included. Rumours of a Women's Intercontinental Championship have been rampant ever since the introduction of this new title, but nothing has been mentioned backstage about that title potentially becoming a reality. Now, winter is coming, and so is the episode on AEW Dynamite. Following the November 16 edition of Collision, the date and location for AEW Winter is Coming 2024 has been revealed. One of the biggest episodes of AEW Dynamite of the year is the Winter is Coming special, which usually takes place every December. The yearly event has seen some major matches and moments in All Elite Wrestling, such as Sting's debut, Kenny Omega defeating Jon Moxley to win the AEW World Championship, and the 60-minute time limit draw between Hangman Adam Page and Bryan Danielson. On November 16, AEW announced that Winter is Coming 2024 will take place on Wednesday, December 11th from the T-Mobile Arena in Kansas City, Missouri. It remains to be seen what matches or moments will take place at this year's show at the time of this recording. And finally, Shinsuke Nakamura, he's back on WWE television. We got more details about that. Shinsuke Nakamura made a return to television for the first time since April on Friday SmackDown, striking up a new title feud. Nakamura appeared in the ring and laid out LA Knight with a Kinshasa after Knight had just retained the US Championship against Berto. According to a report from Fightful Select, his return on SmackDown may have surprised fans, but had been planned for a number of weeks. Also, while Nakamura was not listed on internal rundowns for the show, the report notes that he was on the script. Nakamura hasn't been on television since April, but has been wrestling on live events in the meantime and wasn't out due to an injury. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.